Kelly, what is so unique about you, something that I've learned, is that you didn't start singing until college.
That is true. I didn't sing until my senior year of college, for the most part. You know, I'd sing in the shower, but never where anybody could hear me. I was just a broke college student. I was like, I'm gonna go on Jeopardy and win some money. So I Google how to be on Jeopardy. List of reality shows pulls up, and I missed the deadline for Jeopardy. Saw a show called The Voice, and
Little show.
No
big deal.
I did not know what it was at the time because I was season 2. So I was sitting there with one of my sorority sisters, and she dared me to audition. I'll take a dare from anybody. So I was like, fine. I want to go to Nashville. I've always wanted to go. I love music. So drove through the night, chugging energy drinks, clearly caring about my voice, and auditioned at the crack of dawn in the morning, and kept going and made it on the Ding Show. It was just the most surreal experience, and I had no idea what I was doing, but it ended up all right.
I'd say so, but being from Oklahoma and being kind of a country girl at heart, did you know from the get-go that you wanted Team Blake, or because Christina was an idol?
I know. I told the producers this, because we did a million interviews, probably 100 interviews over the few months that we were out there.
Wow.
For 30 seconds that actually airs, and and I told them, because they ask you over and over again, who, if all 4 turned around, who do you want? And I said, if Blake and Christina turn around, I will have the hardest decision of my life. And 7 seconds till the end, no one had turned around. I was like, oh man, come on, just pull it out, walk off the stage being proud of yourself, and give it all you've got. And I kind of let go of looking at the chairs and praying to God they turn around and just being me.
I have chills right now.
And in the second I just kind of let go of that, right at the big note near the end, Blake and Christina, same time, turn around, and I about died.
So as a songwriter now,
yes,
which is why we're all here, of course, how has your songwriting process evolved over, let's say, the last few years, especially since The Voice?
Yes, and this is amazing because I wrote poetry and I studied lyricism. I just loved music, and I remember as a kid I would just listen to a lot of rock, punk rock, and NSYNC, all that stuff too.
Right.
And I would just write lyrics and I would dissect them and try to learn the art of songwriting. And I was much more singer-songwritery, so the biggest transition was learning how to do commercial country music writing.
Right.
And so that was the biggest transition. But as a writer, if you can learn to adapt, and that wasn't the hardest thing, but I'm still growing every day and getting to be here with so many other amazing writers. This is my first year down here. So.
Well, your show last night was so much fun at Irish Kevin's.
Oh,
and
thank you.
There are a bunch of other fun shows left, and I think we should go check out this big main stage show tonight.
Yeah,
the whole street's blocked off.
I know, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
it's going to be awesome.
I think we should have a few more drinks.
And then
check out that show
down there. Yeah, girl.
And then can't wait to see what else is coming up from you.
It's going to be awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Cheers.
Thank you, girl.
It seems nothing like a ghost town on the summer night. Reading up to the windshield is a storm. It's heading back from somewhere that he never should have been from the world. This I'm good.
Alright guys, what I think is so interesting is how you both started out literally about 1 million miles from Nashville, and Oregon and Idaho, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we were up here while that was down there, and up here was awesome, but it wasn't like down here.
How did you come up or get to your country roots in not a typical country place?
Well, I think
Well,
Idaho
that's
and
a-
Oregon,
that's
that's
a-
kind of a misconception.
That's a wild misconception.
We're a
There's
bunch of
more-
cowboys out there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
there's
rural.
there's more cowboys in Washington, Oregon, Montana, that whole part of it.
Yeah.
And I used my cowboy boots for the barn.
I rodeoed most of my life.
You know what I mean? So when I showed up to Nashville, I was like, you guys don't know what these boots are for.
Well, I mean, you want to hear a funny story?
Actually use them.
I'll tell you a really quick funny story. I haven't really told anybody, but all my friends know. When I moved to Nashville, it was in '99. I had sold my horses to move to Nashville, and hung out, and brush popper shirt, Star Stranglers, Texas Crease, suede jacket with, I mean, a cowboy hat.
He had the Brooks and Dunn flame shirt.
I mean,
You've always had some good swag going on,
well,
fashion-wise.
I mean, I was right off of the rodeo circuit and doing my thing. So I came here and I thought, country music. I came to Nashville, country music capital of the world. But everybody's gonna be country, cowboys, and country. I pulled into a city and I was confused.
Yeah.
I want to know what it was about you guys that drew you together as a duo. Like, how were you like, oh my God, I've got to work with him, and how are you like, I've got to work with her?
It was so organic, it was silly.
I'm a John Stone fan. I really am.
Who's not?
And it was love at first sight because I'm a John Stone fan. So,
yeah, you are.
I'm just kidding.
It's perfect.
It's kind of true.
I love it a little bit.
Well, honestly, the moment that I knew was, she was like, well, would you, want to go and talk about, and then Kelly Lynn, another person on our record label, was like, well, would you want to be in an artist or a band? And I was like, yeah. And it was weird to hear that because I'd wanted it my whole life, but I didn't know that. I got to the point where I just felt like it was totally unattainable. So we sat down, and then, I was like, let's go record some songs, and or sing some songs together, and we did. And then she started singing, and I started singing, and we started doing a thing that almost was ignorant.
Yeah, it's like a really cool
just started
textural vibrations of
the
two vocals, and
we were singing in octaves just because. I don't know if we just didn't know any better to not to when it started to happen. And then we heard there was a sound that was like, oh gosh.
Oh yeah, we got to do that. I love harmony. I love the one voice is very powerful, but where two or more are gathered, it is biblical. Things happen in the spirit.
Agreed.
So that's what happens. We hope.
Honestly, she was in a band with a girl for 9 years, so we know what you were missing.
It's very apparent.
That's awesome!
Sorry.
It's so wrong on so many levels. I hope you can edit this. You're editing, right?
Nope, no editing. Sorry, guys.
Her husband is like one of my best friends. He's going to laugh so hard when he hears that.
Who now are you guys most excited to see while you're down here?
I'm excited to see.
Besides American Young.
Well, I was going to say, I'm such a fan of hearing Christy sing. I want to,
Oh, that is so nice. Yes, I'll play with you this weekend.
Yes.
I'm scratching on the roof, clapboard flapping, just about to go loose. Humming along, swaying back and forth. I'm getting that groove, I sing to the floor. All the dogs barking, with the little boots knocking. The headboards are rocking, sugar cane lemonade, baby, that's us. Getting all I'm sticky all up in love.
I love how you used to be so much more rock and roll, and then you've made a transition to country.
Yeah, it was an easy transition for me. I mean,
because you're from Kentucky.
Grew
right?
up country, and always heard country music on the radio, and obviously where we're from is very rural, so we lean towards country music, but I always want to be a rocker, so just kind of...
So you got to do both?
Yeah, blend it together,
Your vocal still has a really big rock edge to it,
right.
Like in your song Countrified. I mean, it's like you're wailing on that song. Still has that rock vocal.
Yeah.
But yet it's still clearly a country song. So I really like how you combine the two.
To me, what really draws me to country, I love all music. I mean, I'm the type of person that I love anyone that's good at what they do.
So you were in a band way back when.
Yeah.
Then you were in a duo.
Yeah.
And now you're a solo artist. What do you think some of the drawbacks or perks from going from a band to a duo to a solo artist?
Pro is obviously you know, I don't have to run a whole lot of decision making by anyone else. And
you get to express
it's on me.
yourself.
It's
like
me,
you said,
and you know, I don't have to. There's no choice by committee at this point. No decisions made that way, and that can be nice. But it can also, you know, makes you be ultimately responsible for if it doesn't work. You know, you can't hide behind anything else at that point and say, well, it was somebody else that made the decision for you. In a band, I got to tell you, one of the cons, I like being in bands, and I still participate as a musician. I love to just get out sometimes. I don't know if it would be anonymously but I like to be the guy in the back sometimes, just play guitar.
I mean, you've toured with some pretty awesome people, but especially Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that like touring with him?
I mean, we were putting in, you know, sometimes 3 to 4, 5 shows a day because we would play the pre-party, we'd play outside, you know, like the parking lot, people coming in. I mean, they used us, and we wanted to be used. That was part of our deal, and you know, like a VIP thing. And then we play on, and then we would play on the main stage, you know, opening for Tim. You know, if we did 2 tours with him, once was just David and I as a duo acoustically, you know, and here we're thrown in front of 15 to 20,000 people every night, just David and I and our acoustic guitars, and that teaches you a lot. You have to learn how to, you know, interact with the audience because it's just the 2 of you. I mean, there's literally no one else on stage, and it was in the round. So we had freedom to walk around and do what we wanted. And Tim allowed all that. And he wanted to be, you know, he was really pushing us at the time. And
so we nurtured you.
Yeah, he loved it. I'm just proud to be a part of it.
So what is next for you?
Next for me, I'm going to have a drink of this pina colada.
This is going to take us a little while to get through, but how about musically? Let's talk musically.
Musically, I would say, for me, I love the unknown. I love writing with new people. I mean, this year down here, there's so many new names and people I didn't know, and I love that because that means there's opportunities to write with people to keep it fresh, you know, and just live through their life, you know, their experiences and how they became a songwriter is going to come out in their songs, and I want to meet up with those people and write new songs. And musical wise, it's the same thing. I mean, there's always new music coming out that influences you. And so it takes you a different place. It never ends, this cycle of what you're going to do next. And I love that part of it. That makes me excited.
Well, I'm excited for your show. Thank you for chatting with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think it's a little hot out here. We need to...
Cheers.
We need our frosty drinks.
So good when it hits the lips.
So good when it hits the lips. So we got Adley all clicked up.
All clicked up, baby. We're going to rock this.
Don't mess with my click. Click. Yeah. All right, well now we need to get you clicked up. I showed you how to actually use the app, but you need a little bit more swag going on.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Phone from the sky. All right, let's get you clicked.
Look at this.
See, the hat's badass. So
I like it.
Woo! Clicked up.
Good. I clicked up.
Yeah.
Backwards.
Nice.
Yeah.
Clicked up.
Clicked up.
Yep. Okay, so I'm trying to get them all clicked up, and before I could even, John realized that that's his favorite hat ever, and
I know,
kind of pretty much
let me see
stole
that
it.
hat.
Before I could even give it to him, he's like, "I'm taking this." I'm like, "You don't need to. I'm giving it to you."
Then I was like, "Can I get
We're gonna
2?
click you
Because
guys
it's gonna
up.
be my favorite
And here
hat."
we got a little Klique shirt for you, girl, and obviously we're gonna give you a hat too when you want to be a little more, you know, a little more hip hop.
She'll totally wear a hat.
Yeah.
100%.
Getting American Young clicked up.
I don't want to touch it because it's white, and I know it's going to be my favorite hat, and it's going to get
dirty. You know
dirty.
what? I'll give you an extra one.
Okay, thank you.
That was a really, really awesome way of asking for that.